Hello, 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 well, everyone, and welcome to another episode of NFL Stuff. Uh, Normally, when you see that graphic, it means that we're talking about NFL 101 and NFL rules. That another episode of NFL 101 is coming. I promise. It's just my schedule is all over the place right now when I'm trying to do some stuff. Anyway, so in this video, we're going to be talking about just some generic NFL stuff that I'm concerned about. Hi, little one. Come on. This little one wanted to be on camera. Oh, now you don't want to be on camera. But anyway, so um, so you know, um, in this episode, we're just going to be talking about. I talked about them before, but we're just going to be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, and how concerned I am for them as a team. It's all right. You're all right. Yeah. But anyway, so the last time I talked about them, they had just signed uh, T. Higgins, and yes, just in case the Ken decides to climb on my shoulders, is why I'm leaning back here because she has. Yep. But anyway, um, the NFL are the Bengals are on a downtrend, I'd say. Yes, they paid Joe Burrow, who is a good quarterback. I'm not going to dispute that. Yes, they pay T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, who are a good wide receiver duo. I'm not going to dispute that. And you are not going to jump down there. I'm going to hold you. Or you're going to climb up here on my shoulder. Yes, put your tail on my nose. Anyway, you want to get down? Is that what you want? Go on, get down. You're in, you know, you are not climbing on the computer. Okay, okay. There you go. Okay. Anyway, but I'm not going to argue that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins aren't good players and they aren't good people to keep together. But when you put the team salary, and three players, that leads to disaster. Especially when it's all on one side of the ball, and those three players happen to be three offensive players, and on one side, again, as I said, on one side of the ball, that's not gonna end good, and it's not ending good because recent reports show that their star defensive player Trey Hendrickson isn't happy with them because they're not paying him. And again, I I am siding with Hendrickson. He wants to get paid. I have no problem with him wanting to get paid for his work. But the Bengals as a team have tied up so much money in three players that they're not going to be able to pay other players like Hendrickson. Even if they do pay Hendrickson, granted, again, you're in the same boat. You're in the same boat either way. Now you just added another player to the mix. You have tied up all your cap and four players. You're not going to be able to get offensive line help. You're not going to be able to get other offensive pieces like other receivers or running back. And if you do, they're not going to be there long because you're either going to have to draft them or you're going to sign them to 1 or 2 year deals that are on the cheap. And believe me, veterans are not going to sign vet minimum deals for a team that is not going to at least has no chance of making it to the or at this point has very little chance of making it to the Super Bowl. Um, and having your cap tied up and the Bengals concern me. That's what it is. They concern me because they have tied up so much money in three offensive players that they're not going to be able to pay anybody else, and they're going to be signing people to 2 and 3 year deals or 1 and 2 year deals for minimum contracts. They're going to be drafting people who only stay there for 4 or 5 years of their rookie deals and then leave for brighter skies. So they're not going to be able to sign other people to second contracts because they signed these players to such big contracts. Now, eventually, this will not look as bad. Why? Because the cap will go. Eventually, the cap will go up, giving teams more money to do more things. But that's probably a long way off. It's probably a long way off where this is going to pay off for them, for the Bengals as a team. And I'm running out of things to talk about. If you want to, you know what, I'm going to try and keep this going. But, so I'm going to, it's you know, look at other teams. I'll continue the video that way. I'm sorry. Look at other teams. Look at the Chiefs. They had a star wide receiver, and Tyreek Hill. What did they do? They traded him because he wanted money, and they couldn't give him the money he wanted. Now, and I'm going to provide a sneak peek into my opinions on the Tyreek Hill trade about 4 or 5 years after about 5 years after it was made. Do I think that was a good trade? Yes, for all parties involved. The Chiefs got a would-be expensive receiver off their books. So they would be able to pay other players like Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes. The Dolphins got a star receiver for their young quarterback who would be able to help him develop. Whether or not Tua developed the way the Dolphins wanted him, personally, I don't think so. But I am not an expert. No.
Are you still recording?
Yes. Well, I'm recording a different video. Anyway, don't mind Nathan. Anyway, the Dolphins got a star receiver that would help their young quarterback develop, hopefully, as they should. And again, they didn't know at the time that it would be what Tua would be. And then Tyreek Hill got the payday he wanted. So it was a win for all parties, and everything happened. So if I were the Bengals, I would have tagged T and said, "Hey, we can't give you the contract you want. Sign the tag. We'll trade you to another team. We'll give you the contract you want." And then sign Trey Hendrickson to a contract. That's what I would have done. I think I said it in the other video. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to end this video. You guys have a good night. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're interested in learning about NFL rules and regulations and all that stuff, check out the NFL 101 playlist I'm going to leave here. See ya.